A very good Saturday afternoon to you. You're watching KTN Live at 1. My name is Najma Ismail. We start off with a very sad news. 5 people have died in a road accident at the Kikope Trading Center in Gilgil along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway after a bus they were traveling in rolled several times. 45 passengers are said to have been injured, with 17 of them suffering serious injuries. We will bring you more details as soon as we get them. 2 sets of twins have died in a power outage that rocked the 2 sets of twins have died at the Kiambu District Hospital through a power outage that rocked the area. The 4 babies had been put in the incubator for they were born before their delivery date. The hospital boss has not issued a comment.
At Kiambu District Hospital lies a mother who, instead of nursing her newborn babies, is nursing wounds of childbirth and the pain of loss after the death of her newborn children. A mother who lost 2 sets of twins, not out of sickness, but through a power blackout that took away the innocent lives.
Kitu saa 3 nikaitwa tena, nikaenda nikaona watoto, nikapata wote wakiwa 3 wakiwa wazuri. Kamoja haka kamwisho ndio nilikuwa naona kaezi pona. Kitu masaa ya saa 7 nikaitwa, nikaambiwa watoto wawili wameenda, kale kadogo ndio kalibaki, ako kalienda nikiwa hapo.
Poli Njoki, the mother of the twins, says her babies had to be put in incubators for they were born before their due date. But little did she know that was the last time she could hold them on her laps alive.
Na wakatuambia ati huyo mmoja ni kama alipigwa na upepo wakati tulikuwa tunakuja, lakini tulikuwa tumefunikia vizuri. Tulifika huku naye akiwa tu mzima, akiwa tu bado anaendelea kulia.
Wangetuelezea vizuri kinaga ubaga.
Siwezi sikia mzuri juu unaona wengine wanalia hapa, wananiweka hapa na ndio nakaa huko nje.
She narrated to KTN that she was referred to Kiambu Hospital by doctors at Kahawa West Private Hospital after she developed difficulties soon after the delivery.
I have that right as a pastor.
The hospital is here to comment on this matter. Zubeida Kome, KTN Live at 1.
A judge has blamed chiefs for the numerous pending succession cases at the Kakamega Law Courts for those seeking to take over what was left behind by their deceased loved ones. And while noting that since the beginning of the year, there were so far 587 succession cases, Kakamega resident Judge Justice Juma Chitembwe says the chiefs have not been executing their duties in ensuring the cases are resolved efficiently. The judge says people who have lost their loved ones are having difficulties in settling their succession cases because of lack of cooperation by the chiefs. The judge asked the administrators to be impartial when writing succession letters and also provide the necessary information to help in expediting of cases in courts. Chitembwe also cautioned members of the public against giving out bribes while sourcing for the succession forms, stressing the issuance of forms is free of charge. He made the remarks at Miranda Village, Kakamega County, during a judiciary Wananchi public forum.
Bibi wawili unaandika wote, wengine bibi mmoja, hasa bibi mdogo anakimbia mbio sana, anaenda anaandikiwa yeye na watoto wake ni wadogo. Hata mzee alikuwa na watoto wakubwa ambao wanaweza kuzaa hao, lakini wao ndio wanaenda. Unamwona amekuja pale mnyonge ana vitoto vyake viwili, kumbe hata yeye aliolewa juzi.
Residents of Dadaab are concerned about not being able to get identity cards in the region. The residents, who fear that they have lost the right of being Kenyans since asylum was given to refugees at the camp, now complain that they cannot get this essential document since they are accused of not being Kenyan citizens. Meet Markabo Yusuf, who is a resident at Dadaab region. She finished her Form 4 studies at the Dadaab Secondary School in 2009. To date, the 24-year-old has not been able to get an identity card.
I was carrying all those documents, but unfortunately it was not successful.
However, Kenyan Somalis living in this region are not giving up just yet. This group of young men meet here every single day to try their luck.
Nina miaka 35 na mimi ni mzaliwa wa hapa na siwezi fika Garissa. Hivi majuzi mama mjamzito alipoteza maisha yake kwa kuwa hangefikishwa hospitalini mjini Garissa kwa sababu ya kukosa kitambulisho. Kwa hivyo tunaona hii ni nchi ya watu wachache tu.
Going to nearby Garissa town is impossible, if not worse, since most of them get arrested by police who only set them free after receiving a bribe.
But on the way, you cannot pass because you don't have identity. The only way is to pay money so that you get to Garissa.
Many of the young men and women in Dadaab have lost hope of being recognized as Kenyans and have now resorted to being classified as refugees with the hope of being taken abroad with the real refugees of Dadaab. Muslim leaders from the northeastern region have now thrown their weight behind the United Kingdom's plan to ban miraa. They now want the Kenyan government to follow suit and ban the use of miraa. Led by SUPKEM chairman Garissa branch Sheikh Abdullahi Salat and other religious leaders, they maintained that miraa is a narcotic drug that for the years has ruined the socio-economic welfare in the region. On the other hand, they urged miraa farmers to turn to other cash crops so as to discourage the use of miraa in the country. These sentiments come barely a week after Wajir South MP Abdullahi Mohammed and his Lagdera counterpart Mohammed Shidie called on the government to ban the production and consumption of miraa.
Wa Garissa County wameamua kukataa miraa na kuhimiza serikali kupiga miraa marufuku vile imepigwa marufuku katika Tanzania, nchi jirani karibu yetu, Uingereza, nchi ya Holland, Saudi Arabia na hata wilaya nyingi za Amerika.
The person who feels the pain is not the grower, but the product user. The people of Meru do not understand the effect of miraa. We understand because we use the miraa.
Now to a story that will challenge the existing aviation laws in Kenya. It is about one man who has made a small aircraft that can fly after the clouds without a pilot on board. Chris Galili, who has been studying in China, says he developed the gadget together with his classmates. The law requires that any object flying into the airspace of Kenya must be licensed, but at the moment there is no aviation law to regulate unmanned vehicles. So what next for the innovative Kenyan? KTN's Edith Kimani reports on the gadget that might force Kenya to rethink its aviation laws.
Look up! It's a bird. It's a plane. Well, it's not Superman, but it is a super gadget. This is the Phantom, a brand in the growing market of UAVs or unmanned air vehicles, a technology that has now made its way to Kenya.
I'll stop the photo.
Behind the controls and owner of the device is Chris Galili, who mans it with unmatched ease. But don't be fooled. It takes at least half an hour to prepare for this flight. Yes, flight, and this is where we start.
Lima Studio.
We check in at this house in Umoja where the 26-year-old aeronautical engineer takes us through his improvised cockpit. It isn't long before Chris brings out the Phantom, the impressive technology weighing only as much as 2 loaves of bread. The Phantom is classified as a remote-controlled quadcopter. Very simply, a flying device similar to the helicopters, but with a lift and thrust from 4 propellers rather than just 1. A clever feature on this UAV is its camera.
It's a sports camera capable of filming. It's 11 megapixels with a wide coverage of 140 degrees maximum to the list of 90 degrees. So today we are going to film at a range of width of 140 degrees.
Chris gets into more technical details in very technical language, but he is in his element, so I do not stop him. Chris has extensively studied and even made a few UAVs himself. The next step, he says, is to commercialize them.
My main purpose of purchasing this was to do business with it and to commercialize it for recording parties, aerial recording of parties and photography of weddings. We can do the wild, we can view the wild from above, the poachers, we can monitor poachers.
But before I can buy into it, I ask for a demonstration, and so we prepare for takeoff.
Which shows it has captured all the satellites we need. So it's ready to fly. Go.
The Phantom goes out of sight. It can go as high as 938 feet. And the video footage captured on the camera is simply breathtaking. The last couple of years have seen an increase in popularity in UAV technology, particularly in the industrialized world. But as this technology comes into Africa, now we are seeing into Kenya, the question is, are we prepared for it? The answer to this may be no.
Actually, I'd approached the KCA, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, and we sat down. I told them what I have. I didn't show them, but I showed them the products, the materials I've so far recorded. And after they viewed it, they thought about it, but they say it's not covered in our aviation regulations yet.
The Opajeta Conservancy in Laikipia is reported to be already using the technology for wildlife surveillance. And as the number of users increases, concerns of interference with manned aircrafts and even competence of those handling the technology will need to be addressed. It is obvious to anyone watching that Chris really enjoys flying the Phantom, saying that the only place for this super technology is at the top.
Well, traditional norms and fear of the unknown are keeping men in Migori County from allowing their wives to engage in or joining them in family planning programs. KTN's Elida Ogoti went to Nyatike in Migori, where she met young mothers living the reality of family planning challenges in that area and carrying the burden of large families at a very young age.
The norms are now affecting Nyatike constituency as the number of young mothers increases. And you don't have to spend a lot of time in Nyatike to encounter young mothers carrying their children on their backs and breastfeeding their infants. The mothers as young as 16 are married to men over the age of their fathers and are now struggling single-handedly to make their ends meet. Meet 28-year-old Millicent Akinyi, a mother of 6 children. Married at 20, she says her husband associates family planning methods with prostitution.
Sasa vile nilizaa nikamwambia kama nimeshafika na watoto wanne, sasa watoto wametosha, juu ule ako na watoto 3, mimi niko na 4. Akasema ati anataka tu nizae juu anasikia ati yeye anajionea akinikizaa ati sitakuwa na mambo zingine za kando kando. Sasa anataka tu nizae kila wakati niko na watoto. Sasa wakati nikienda kwa kliniki, kwa hospitali, huwa najificha tu.
She further says that she was forced to give birth to the 6 children.
Ananikataza juu anasema kwa hii uko yao watoto ni wadogo. Wako na watoto wadogo, saa zingine ukizaa mingi, wengine watakuwa wajinga, wengine watakunywa pombe, wengine watafanya nini. Sasa mwingine mmoja yao utapata mwenye ako na akili. Sasa anataka tu na baba yao familia yao inataka tu uzae tu mpaka mayai ishi kwa tumbo.
And while Akinyi says she got married too early for her liking, Beatrice Adhiambo is a bitter mother. Just at the age of 24, she has 6 children, all twins, born within a period of 10 years. Adhiambo was married in the year 2000, and just within the first 3 months, her husband passed on, leaving her with a pregnancy, not knowing that they will be delivered twins. Kennedy Onyango, a public health facilitator in Nyatike, says that involving men in family planning programs is a challenge, since most men in sects don't want their women to seek for family planning services by virtue of their faith.
But it is a challenge everywhere, that not all of them will come and register. Some of them does not come simply because of faith, of the sect, spiritual backgrounds.
According to Dr. Gordon Okomo, lack of male involvement in family planning is due to fear that anything foreign is not good for the community.
People fear anything that comes from outside. And anything that comes from outside, some of them think that maybe it is a population type of control program.
Helen Ochola, a nurse at Bande Dispensary, says that she has been forced to write letters asking husbands to accompany their wives to hospital.
Our clients always, when we ask them why men are not coming to our health facility to accompany them, they always tell us that the men say they don't like working with pregnant mothers. They are not pregnant.
Despite its prevalence, early marriages are cloaked in secrecy in villages such as Owich, Mikei, Kalang, Nyatike, and Kolango. Most villagers stay quiet on the issue in an attempt to hide it from outsiders. Ogoti Elitha, KTN Newsdesk.